That's Gooseberry Mesa right up there, and then all around me is the Hurricane Rim. I'm in the middle of it, camped here. Hurricane Rim and Gem Trail. Been watching riders go by all day, which I didn't realize the trail was right there when I pooped over there this morning. Hey, don't judge me. What's up, dudes? This is another silly video along the lines of Tommy P's car camping tips. This is a super simple one, should be super quick, but I just want to talk about how I film while I'm driving, because I've taken a little bit of flack for it, but then I've also seen people kind of like, you know, I'm packed right now if you can't tell. You'll see people driving, you know, obviously holding a camera, and I won't do that unless I'm on like a back, you know, like dirt road out here in Utah where there's no one around, and I'm super careful when I do that, but don't really recommend it. Don't do that at home. I just want to talk about how I film in the car safely and effectively, because for whatever reason, I'm comfortable filming in the car. It's when I kind of like my thoughts are flowing when I'm riding and driving in the car. I'm talking. It's hard for me to sit in front of the camera statically, like sort of like I am right now. I'll just pretend I'm driving. Need some green screen back here. You know, I'm filming in the car with GoPros. If I want to get fancy, I'll be using like a lav mic. That's a whole nother can of worms. A whole nother. That nother is an entirely different thing. All right, so real quick, basically, if you see me from the angle with my hands on the wheel in view, I got the GoPro there. If I want, I will flip it around. The rule on cell phones is one button operation. So I'm big into, I got my Bluetooth headphones. I don't mess around with it. I don't hold a phone to my ear. I don't text and drive. I'm a stickler about it. I really don't like it. I think my thing on that is I don't do it because if I killed or hurt someone while texting and driving, I'd have to kill myself. And I don't have to do that because what else are you going to do if you do that? You're just the worst.
We had to take a special Jeep up to the main road.
So I got it, you know, it's one button on. Press the one button. It's right in front of me. There's no battery in there, so it's not gonna go on. But you know, same thing where it's flipped around. And then I've got this other mount. All right, so then I got this guy. It's one of these sort of Gorilla Grip things. Its grip is up here. I could hang it off the visor, but that's a little floppy, especially on bumpy roads. So I'll basically just put this thing up like it's off to my side. So I'm looking forward. So I'm looking forward, looking ahead, and this thing is sort of like right in my face, right where the mic is going to pick up really well, and I'm not really looking at it and not paying attention to it. So basically I just have some GoPro feet. This actually had broke my little sunglasses holder dealy here, so that's Gorilla Tapes. Gorilla Grip, Gorilla Tape, don't confuse the two. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna put little GoPro feet all over your fancy Beamer, dude, but my Forester, I don't really give a crap. I mean, I use the hood as a freaking tool bench, dude. Who cares? You know, and people can nitpick and be like, you shouldn't be filming when you're in the car, but it's one button on. It's, I would say it's actually less distracting than listening to a podcast or the radio, because I really, if I get into a situation or having you know, someone else in the car talking to me, it's sort of like, you know, my old boss who, he used to say things like, I'm not yelling, this is my normal speaking voice. And then, you know, sort of when the first, like, the hands-free sort of stuff was coming up, he said, you know, they say that talking on the phone in the car is distracting. Have you tried driving in the car with my wife? So, I mean, but there is something to that where, you know, having someone who, you know, you get into a stressful traffic situation, you got to focus.
Oh, you had me scared out of my mind, man. You had me scared out of my ah!
The person next to you might not stop talking to you.
Keep your mouth shut.
Well,
I mean, don't say one word, okay?
Okay, Lewis.
And might not give you the space to navigate that situation, where this, like, you know, I can just start ignoring it. And I mean, there's so many cuts on these things you don't see, except for that one time I accidentally gave a bunch of GoPro footage to an editor, and I was super embarrassed because it's a bunch of stuff of me, you know, saying probably horrible stuff, yelling at myself for screwing up monologues or whatever. I have a GoPro but you know, I get into anything, anything confusing, whatever, stressful. I just ignore it. So it's like one button on, boom, it's on, one button off. Hands are on the wheel, eyes are on the road, and it's really, if I felt like this was dangerous, I wouldn't do it. This is not something I mess around with. I'm literally a guy, I'll keep nickels by my gear shift because I do have a manual transmission in the Forester, dude. And I will chuck a nickel at somebody's window if they're texting and driving and be like, put your phone down, put it down. Because there's nothing more intimidating than a middle-aged skinny fat guy in a Subaru Forester, dude. I'm basically like the Steven Seagal of the highway, dude.
You know, you shouldn't knock Chinese potions. I have something in my pocket right now that'll completely clear up that bruise on your forehead. What bruise?
Yeah, so that, I mean, that is basically it. That's the whole thing. So it's super simple. So, you know, if you're doing this thing where you're holding the camera or whatever, I wouldn't recommend that. If you can make it a little bit safer, you know, use the mounts, you know, one button on, you know, where the distraction is to a minimum. It's less than the radio, it's less than the podcast, it's less than your wife. I think that's good. You know, that's the way I do it. I'm not saying that's the way you should do it, but if I get into a freaking car accident, dude, if I get into a fender bender, dude, I don't want video evidence that I'm a knucklehead holding the camera and talking to it. I would rather, you know, be doing it, you know, dash cam style, you know? It's, I mean, it's what they do in comedians in cars. They just suction cup some freaking things with the windshield, and that's, you know, that's how they do it. That's the whole thing. It's pretty, you know, these little GoPros are amazing. All right, well, thanks for watching, guys, and feel free to put some hate-filled bile in the comments. Oh, brother. All right, I'll see you guys later. Also kind of cool, but not really related, is I also have a GoPro mount on the bumper, dude, on the Forester. So if I'm shooting a gravel race or something, or on the road, I can actually control it from inside the car, dude, and then shoot off the bumper. I think something exciting is about to happen, so I'm gonna throw it on there. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. All right, see how this goes. Yeah, I think that's about the limit of a Subaru Forester, dude. We were sideways. Look at this. Oh, it's a good time, dude. Oh crap, we gotta get out of here.